Hello, this is John Miller, the creator of The Rest of Everest. I think I can safely say that this show is, without a doubt, the most in-depth look into the entire experience of what it takes to climb Everest, as well as some other peaks throughout the Himalayas. But all of the events in this series are shown in chronological order, so if you're new to the show, please go all the way back to episode 000 and watch everything in order. That's truly the best way to enjoy it. Thanks. Hey everyone, before we start this week's episode, I would like to announce that registration for our 2011 photo workshop trek will be opening on October 17th. This year we will not be visiting Everest, but instead we'll be trekking to a mountain in western Tibet called Mount Kailash. Kailash is a very spiritual and holy mountain, and it's the favorite trek of most of my Sherpa friends. According to a local legend out there, doing a complete circumambulation or walking around Mount Kailash wipes your karmic slate clean. How cool is that? All of the information for the 2011 workshop can be found on a new website I've set up called HimalayanWorkshops.com. I'm very excited to say that the Kailash trek will be our most affordable trip to date and will also be a relatively short trip at just over 2 weeks. I know that many people have wanted to join us in the past but haven't been able to afford the 3 to 4 weeks that the other trips have lasted. If you're interested, please read through the site and sign up for the newsletter. Registration this year will be different than in the past years, as we'll be charging a small, refundable registration fee to try to cut down on casual registrations from people who really were not going to be able to join us and simply signed up for fun. Now that causes a lot of extra work for me, and to tell you the truth, a lot of worrying and hair pulling, so I'd like to try to avoid that this time around. Again, please visit HimalayanWorkshops.com for all of the details, and we hope to see you at Kailash in 2011.
This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 142, Snot Rocket.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to The Rest of Everest. I'm John Miller. Small group this week, kind of continuing the trend from the last couple of weeks. And this week, I am pleased to bring back into the fold John Coleman. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great. And Jeff Coe is back as well. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well, John. Yourself?
Doing fantastically. And as always, Tilo is calling in from Germany. How you doing, Tilo?
Hey, I'm doing great, and I hope you too.
Yeah. So this week, as I promised last week, we're gonna continuing sort of showing the rest of the experience. And when I say the rest, I do mean everything. And I don't think there's any talk about pooping this episode. But I do blow my nose on camera. So we've got that going for us this week. So we are continuing our trek back from Everest, and we are heading towards Lukla, and we are heading into, this is pretty much one of the last days of the trek. So there's only a few episodes left in this season. But yeah, I'd say let's continue on with it. Really beautiful stuff in this episode, and in next week's episode as well. So let's head back up to somewhere above Namche Bazaar. So here we go.
All right, John. It's the morning of the last full day hiking. It is, today is the 18th of May. What's going on? Looks like you and I are both having trouble getting out of bed.
Yeah, I think we're both dragging a little bit this morning. My case, I actually had a good night's sleep, so I didn't want to get out of bed just yet. Would like to have slept another couple hours.
Unfortunately, we have, we have breakfast at 7, and it is currently 6:50. And I know I still have to pack up my sleeping bag and all of my miscellaneous junk here.
Yeah,
but,
not a leisurely vacation.
But you can hear outside, you can hear all the Sherpa crew. They're just having a good time. I think they're psyched to be getting closer to home.
Yep.
And
I think all of us are.
how cold was it last night?
Yeah, it really wasn't too bad. I was actually very comfortable inside the sleeping bag, so if anything, it was a little bit warm.
It seems like it was actually, let's see, there we go. Seems like it was actually like, maybe 40 degrees out last night. And we've got negative 40 degree sleeping bags. Mine might not be quite as warm, but I know that his is negative 40. I'm positive about that. But
Yeah, it's like we're above 11,000 feet still, I think, which is still higher than most places in the world, but you can breathe a lot better down here.
Yes, oxygen is good.
We must be acclimated. I'm thinking we're acclimated to about 13,000 feet right now, so anything below 13,000 feet, it just feels a lot better. We still have to hike uphill, up steps here and there, and those are always difficult, but hey, you know, if you had like an 800-foot or let's say 200-300 meter hill in your backyard that had a bunch of steps, and you went up it, you'd get winded too. So, but just the regular kind of day-to-day tasks like stuffing our sleeping bags in the sack, that stuff's gonna be. It's just so much easier down here. You don't have to like go stuff, and you go stuff. It's just you can just do it. And today is gonna definitely be warm. We of course are all getting extremely funky, as you may know, and so I dug through my duffel bag, which of course they're also known as black holes because you can't find everything. They swallow everything, and you can't find it. But I did eventually find some deodorant, so I slathered deodorant on because I tend to get warmer than most people in the group when I hike, so I'll probably be hiking in a t-shirt while other people might be hiking in jackets or fleece. So I'm trying to do a community service by putting on deodorant. So that's it. I think I'm gonna pack up my sleeping bag.
Me too.
And then we'll get to breakfast and show you what it's like outside this morning, because it's another beautiful morning with a nice bright sun. All right, here. So because John and I are usually the last ones to finish packing because we always record some stuff in the morning, we have some Sherpas hovering outside of our tent, yes, trying to get us to get a move on so that they can take the tent down, pack it up, and get a move on. So see if I can film them for a second. I'm gonna go outside too, so see what the morning's like today. Finish packing, John.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Do daily ritual. Another beautiful day in the Himalaya.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys today?
Good.
Yeah?
And you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Sleep well?
Slept very well.
Good.
It's nice and warm now.
Yes.
All right. Hey, there's Chris.
Good morning.
Yeah, we weren't the only slow ones.
Shootout. Yours is switched on, mine is not.
Sorry,
can't give you the counter shot.
Then what's the point?
I don't know, make believe. I mean, look, almost as nice as yours.
So we can still see snow.
Yes, but I just got rid of. I put a t-shirt on. I put my summer trekking thing on. I kind of got that out of my dirty laundry bag. Still good, doesn't smell too bad.
Yeah,
doesn't stand in the corner by itself.
Relative.
Yeah, if you shake it, it's kind of emits some dust.
It might have smelled bad like 10 days ago to you, but now you're like, not so bad.
It's been in this laundry bag, and it has been mixing its smells with the other stuff, and now it's kind of neutralized again, I guess. And shh, don't tell anyone, I secretly washed my hair.
Oh yeah?
This morning with the
washing water?
Leftover from Monica's bowl and mine, and I just did. I tried hard, and I think it.
So don't tell anyone, but everyone in the world who's watching both of our shows.
Exactly. I mean, especially the participants. I think they would kill me because everyone wants to wash their hair.
Yeah.
And I just did it.
Well, it dried, just so you know. It dried a little bit. Let's see if I can get it.
The shape is kind of weird, I guess.
Let's see here. So it dried. You got a little bit of like the bedhead kind of style going.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Which is very popular these days,
yes.
But it's not going to give you away.
No, it's not. And I'm in the middle of packing. Where's my towel? There was a towel here, hanging in between the tents. Was there? Was there? Oh, it's over there. Okay. See, that's the. Thank you.
What a beautiful place there.
That's one of the accessories that I was told I needed. That's a microfiber towel. That's supposed to really dry very fast and everything. I guess often I use it on that track. It's kind of embarrassing.
This is the first time?
It's the first time.
Yeah. Hey, but you used it.
All the other times was like, okay, wash my face. And
I figured you use it once. It wasn't a waste to bring.
No, it wasn't. It's
you may not bring it next time.
But and it really is like it's tiny. You can really compress it, very tiny.
Nice, yeah.
And well, I dried my hair with it, and now it's almost dry again, slightly. I think I'm gonna hang it off my backpack though. And now I desperately need to finish packing because mine is the only tent that's not torn down yet.
They're hovering.
They're hovering.
They're ready to go. That's what we saw. We saw Sherpa shadows on our tent.
Yes, I know. They're kind of. I'm switching to different shoes too.
Nice. Lighter ones, not the boots.
The boots are nice and good and everything, but they've not prevented me from bending an ankle. Not at all. The only thing that prevents, I don't know, I need these wider shoes and they don't really give you that much of a protection.
Yeah, there's nothing that can prevent you from rolling an ankle.
No,
and I've done it 3 times, and so I actually I have an ace bandage I'm going to apply to my ankle today.
So the only thing that prevents me from bending an ankle is my right foot. That's my weak spot. The only thing that prevents me from doing that is watch where I step. That's the only thing. Now my big problem was I had this camera hanging in front of me.
Yeah.
Off the backpack with a lens, and that was kind of in the way. I found a very easy way to solve that problem. And the way to solve that problem was to actually shorten one of the straps and lengthen one of the other strap, and this way the camera doesn't sit in the middle but more to the side.
Off to the side, yeah.
That thing came to me as an epiphany yesterday. One of the super simple things, and they're really hovering now. Okay, I'm hurrying up.
And John's just sort of standing in one place.
Didn't want to move.
Kind of absorbing everything. Something tells me,
plus it was
John,
just very interesting to watch.
You still haven't quite woken up.
Not quite, no. Not so much.
You're getting there.
Getting there. I'll be awake in a couple hours.
Well, since you're still sleeping, I'm going to go film the yaks.
Okay. Okay, John, whatever you want to do.
Actually, these guys were tied up. They're all tied up to little posts, which is good because they're always a little ornery, which certainly don't blame them. But our toilet tent is on this next level here, and in order to get to it, you have to pass all of them. And at night, you couldn't totally tell if it was your first time. You couldn't totally tell that they were tied up. So it was a little bit scary, to tell you the truth. But here, I'm gonna show you where the toilet tent is. I'm not gonna show you the toilet tent. You've already been through that. I'm not gonna put you through it again. But you'll be able to see the view the yaks have had this morning. It's absolutely gorgeous. So here is our toilet tent. Here are the yaks. You can see where we were camping down in that field last night. And the yaks are having breakfast. Hay. Hay's delicious. It's so good.
So we were actually going to be spending this night in Tengboche, as I remember. But do you guys remember why we didn't spend the night there?
Well, I think it's because we had to descend a little bit faster because of our Dingboshe delays from the snow, and if I recall. Yeah.
I thought part of the reason was that John Farrow was moving very slowly downhill, and we just simply couldn't get everybody to where we needed to be in time by the time it got dark.
We couldn't have done this trip without you guys. Don't want to leave you guys out. You're crucial. Really appreciate all the work. Done a great job.
Thank you.
Something tells me they don't care.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it.
But look at that view.
Were you?
Regardless of the reason why we didn't spend the night in Tengboche, it's nice to mix it up and not have to repeat everything. So this was a really nice place to stay.
Yeah, I would say that was the one downside of the descent. It was a lot of basically just seeing the same things we'd already seen again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although I don't know if there's much of a way around that, really.
But it was an intermediate camp, I think. Yeah. Wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember we didn't stop at Tengboche on the way back down. We just blew right through there. Actually, we stopped there for lunch.
Yeah.
That's right.
We met some very interesting people that day as well.
Yeah, some other trekkers who we had been kind of leapfrogging.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I remember the one guy, I think Jeff was talking to him, the guy who had attempted a summit and had already given up and was on his way back down. And,
mm-hmm.
I think he had said it was like a second or third attempt, and he finally was just admitting, he doesn't have it in him, so he's going to give up and not come back. Yeah.
We also ran into a German man, I believe, wasn't?
That's right.
Who,
I think I got some nice photos of him. I think his name was Herman, and he was from Munich.
Mm-hmm. Really interesting guy.
Yeah.
And
we just kept seeing him over and over again.
Right, he was climbing up. There's a little ascent to get to Tengboche, and we passed him, and then he caught us, and we had lunch with him. And then there was an Irish couple. She was an emergency room physician, and I believe her boyfriend. And they were actually trying to summit some of the, or maybe already had some of the smaller peaks, the lesser peaks. And I will put lesser in air quotes, since those lesser peaks are 6,000 feet higher than anything in the United States. But I actually got a photo of the three of them together. Probably the only, I'd like to send it to him if I could find them. But
yeah.
And let.
What was that, Jeff?
I said, unless they watch this show and
well, I handed my cards out, and Jeff the whole time Jeff was promoting my show left and right. Everyone he met, he's like, "You gotta watch this show."
What is? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I thought it was interesting how
yak butt.
Interesting how they pack the yaks.
Yeah.
Cheery there. It's like
getting cold breakfast. Please take before your breakfast.
Okay.
I think in these lower elevation shots, you can kind of feel that it's easier going. We're not really suffering at this point, and I think everyone was just kind of enjoying themselves, aside from just the monotony of walking every day.
I think as a group, with the exception of John Farrow, we actually moved a lot more quickly. And John's limitation, which were his knees, I think, weren't an issue going up, since we were all going slow, but coming down, he struggled.
But he made it.
He absolutely did.
A truly inspiring guy.
I mean, if anybody ever says, well, I'm not in shape to do this, I'll just show them a video of John Farrow and say, you can do it if this guy can do it, if you have the will that he has.
He had an extremely strong will. Mm-hmm. One of the strongest I've ever been around. Truly impressive.
Well, you hear a lot of interviews and things with mountaineers, and a lot of them say that, that mental toughness is far, far more important than your physical strength. Mm-hmm. no matter how good a shape you're in, you're gonna hit a wall, and you're gonna have to push through it. And you either have the mental strength to do that, or you don't. And he certainly did.
Yeah, and it's something we talk about in the show is that you can psych yourself out. Mm-hmm. You can trick yourself into not performing as well just by being nervous about failing. The what ifs. And if you just kind of let that go, then you have good success. I was feeling this because I was walking past this house here, and it's just all this music. It was loud too. It was really loud. It was thumping in my chest. Thought it was a nice contrast.
I can't remember that anymore. But Wickfield.
It's so unusual to suddenly hear dance music in the middle of the Himalayas.
And I think that place has a dirt floor.
It's kind of like the guys in the rusty old cars with the giant sound systems that rattle the window. They may live in a house with a dirt hut, but they got a kicking stereo.
I thought maybe you were going to stop to dance.
There's John. Yeah, so at this point, John had a couple of Sherpas carrying... Yeah. Actually, he's carrying his pack there, but these guys were with him, just glued to him, and I think they really helped out. Just really nice guys.
Yeah, and one of them is Passan.
Yep.
We will see in the next season, I think.
Yep. He's season 5. He was our cook in 2010 on the Kangshung trek. But one of the cool things about John Farrow here is, he was exhausted the whole time, but every time they took a rest break, he didn't really rest. He'd just take his camera out, whether video or still camera, and he was constantly shooting video and shooting stills. So it's like he was tired, but he was never tired. Just amazing.
Yeah, and he was always still very happy and
always
joking,
happy,
and no matter how exhausted he was, he'd shoot you a smile. It was great. Wish I had been able to keep myself up quite as well as he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John.
I know that I had more than one day where I was just like, "Ugh, leave me alone."
John is welcome at any treks any workshop that we do in the Himalayas in the future. Always welcome. Really enrich the experience for all of us. You can still hear the music. So there's Ama Dablam. There's that nice cornice that was built up there. And we were always thinking it looked like a duck head.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I think it was Steve Wolf that started that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That cornice there looked like a beak. And as I understand that's definitely not rock. That's just snow. And so at some point that whole thing, structure was going to fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually kept an eye out on different photos from expeditions in the region this year to see if I could, find pictures of it and see if it's still up there or not.
At this point, I was walking by myself and enjoying it.
Here in the Himalayas, you get a lot of congestion from the dust and from just the altitude, the cold. It's not so cold today. I'm wearing, obviously, a t-shirt, but still really suffering from a lot of congestion. As Westerners, you typically use Kleenex. It's very common. But up here, you're always going to be congested. You're always going to be blowing your nose. And what that leads to is you get incredibly raw, right around here. And it just becomes something that it can actually become a real problem. You can get extremely, extremely chapped skin here around your nose, also with the windburn and the sunburn potential. So one of the things that is very common, everyone always looks at me like, "What are you doing?" when they walk by. They'll know what I'm doing in a second. So one of the things, the locals don't use tissue paper at all to blow their nose, period. That's all there is to it. They have a much, much better system. I know a lot of you have probably heard of it. I remember growing up, and for some reason or another, it was always referred to kind of as a farmer snot or farmer nose blow. But just about everyone out here does it. Doesn't matter whether you're male or female, adult or child. I think if I spent enough time around the yaks, they probably do it too. Maybe the dogs as well. But what it is for those of you who don't know what this is leading to, you close one nostril with a finger, pressing it closed, and then you blow as hard as you can, and it's absolutely stunning sometimes what comes out. A few days ago I did it, and I think it was almost like an entire egg yolk came out of one nostril. It was amazing. So this is the rest of Everest. This is something that everyone does when climbing Everest, and so here we go. Probably the first official nose blow on camera for a podcast, especially coming from Nepal. So let's see what we can get out of this nostril. This one has already been cleared, so let's see what we can do here. Go back far enough so you can see it in all its glory. Let's go.
And high def to boot.
Can't even see it.
See that? So much better. Oh, I can breathe again. It's that easy. And it's that fast, and it doesn't cost anything. So.
I'll shake my hand.
Always people walking by. I still feel like I might have a little bit left, so let's see if I can do another one. Let's see. And you got to keep your feet out of the way, otherwise you might get all over your shoes. Let's see. Nope, just a little bit. It'll build back up, and I'll have another one later, but I won't film it, I promise. So now it's time for me to catch up with my group, because I've been filming like a madman this morning. The scenery's stunning. It's warm. The air is thicker, so I better get a move on, catch up with my group. Otherwise, they'll leave Namche without me. All right.
Yes, and take pictures. Just need some action footage.
I remember this morning as being one of the happiest mornings of my life.
Do that thing with the glasses.
Just missed my family, but I was just having such a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Being in Nepal, and I was by myself for a long time, and the scenery was just amazing.
Yeah, I think everybody seemed to be having much, much more fun on the way down.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Except for that guy.
Yeah, except for that guy.
And that guy.
And that guy.
Look at the size of those loads.
All in a day's work.
Yeah. I felt overloaded with my little 30, 40-pound backpack, though.
Okay, guys.
So we came across this kind of way station that I didn't actually remember walking past on the way up. But they had this sort of a stunt yak there.
He's very docile, you know. Actually able to get up really close to him, as you can see Jeff doing, and taking pictures. And
as I recall, all it wanted to do was be inside the building.
Yeah, really wanted to go in there very, very badly. I don't know if it smelled something it liked in there, or it was just annoyed with all of us trying to take pictures of it, or what it was. But
What I was trying to do there was a trick that I had heard from one of, or a technique that I heard from one of Chris's podcasts, where you open up your camera lens very wide angle and stick it in their face and, you know, shoot without actually looking through the viewfinder.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Sure.
Hey, can I come in, guys?
Yeah, going shopping.
But look at the view that this establishment has. Just amazing view of Ama Dablam there.
Yeah, if I recall, we lingered at this place for an awfully long time that day.
Yeah, Ama Dablam is one of the most unique looking peaks in the world from that angle. I think Karma was shooting all this. It's not me.
On Ama Dablam, you can actually get the feeling that their wings as well spread out.
Oh, on the duck's wings?
Right.
Hear that sound of the shutters clicking? That was an ever-present sound during our workshop.
There's this guy along the trail who is, I totally see it. It's got eyes. Sorry? No.
So there's Tilo there. Tilo and I spent most of these last 2 days hiking together.
Yeah? It was a nice walk.
The eyes.
Yeah, we're discussing the features of the duck.
Stoned on oxygen, seeing ducks in the mountains.
In such ways so the programs can interpret specifically so that
I have a number of those vertical prayer flags hanging on my deck right now. I love them.
Yeah, kind of wish I'd picked up a few of those while I was there. Oh well, just means I got to go back to get them now.
There you go. Although you can get them on eBay.
Yeah, it's not the same.
You can hear in the background, Jeff and I think are talking about codecs. That was a discussion topic on this day.
That's right. I was picking your brain for everything I could possibly get about, or at least that I could receive on movie making and codecs.
Yeah, I think this day we were really geeking out in conversation, talking about codecs. And John, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were discussing Mac OS 10.6 that hadn't been released yet.
Snow Leopard, what the pricing going to be, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yes, this was a very nerdy day.
It was fun being with a group of people that appreciated that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Definitely with my own people, my own kind.
Yeah. If there's one thing we had, it was time for a conversation.
I think that is Everest right there. In the middle.
I believe so.
Yeah. Again, Karma is shooting this video. He shot mostly with my big camera on this from this point on. Really was having fun with it. We had a great Sherpa team this year in 2010 for the Kangshung Face Trek, but really missed some of the guys from this 2009 trek. Karma especially.
Yeah, it's a really good team.
So we will continue with the beautiful views and everything next week, and Tilo can definitely assert that this next episode was one of the more fun days, or parts of the days that we had, where we ended up doing a lot of hiking with Sonam, who was just having the time of his life. He just loves going on treks, and he's actually born and raised basically in Kathmandu, and so spends most of his time in the city, and every time he can get out onto a trek, he just makes the most of it. And so he was showing us sort of what some of the locals do, and that involves having fun on the suspension bridges. So I look forward to showing all of you that. So thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate you joining me on this episode.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, John.
And we will catch up with the three of you next week. So see you then. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every day, and watching the show has become a part of many people's weekly routine. The show will always be free to download, but it's by no means free to produce. Please help me cover my costs by making a small monthly or one-time donation from the right sidebar on my website, and in return I'll give you some cool bonus materials. A donation of any amount will grant you access to some interesting video content, including high-definition versions of several podcast episodes, A one-time donation of $25 or more, or any of the monthly donation options, will additionally grant you access to a downloadable version of the film Everest the Other Side, which episodes 1 to 61 are based on. I really cannot express how vital these donations are, and if you've made a donation, thank you so much. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywoo.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.